Good afternoon. I'm so apologize for running a little late. It's been a very crazy day on my end. So I'm excited to be on, and thank you for making this time for me to be on and meet your guests, your audience today.
Yes, of course. So whenever you're ready, we can start.
Yes, I am ready. I figured you'll have all the questions, Catherine. So if there's anything you want me to show, let me know. I just plan to kind of share and show a little bit of details, but I'll let you run the show.
Perfect. All right, let us go. So welcome everyone to Community CPA's webinar. I am Catherine, as many of you already know. And Thursdays are kind of our special days where we have our guests come to speak and share about resources for business, what other businesses are able to do, share skills, and a variety of things. And that's really just Community CPA's way of giving back to the community and engaging our audience. So thank you for being with us today. I have with me Osi, who is from Push Strategist LLC. Osi, are you still there? I think you might be cutting out.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me okay? It looks like my video froze for some reason. Let me try turning it off and putting it back on.
I can still hear you. Yep.
Okay, good.
All right. So today we are talking about a capacity building program that we are going to share with everyone. So thank you so much for joining in with us today. We're looking forward to hearing about it. So first, tell us a bit about yourself and where you got to be where you are.
Yes, thank you again so much for having me. I'm excited to be on your platform today. It's awesome to just be able to share resources that help support our immigrant community and small businesses. So thank you again for the opportunity. My name is Sase. As you shared, I'm owner of Push Strategist LLC, and my firm is really about helping to promote people of color, particularly immigrant and refugee communities in the area of small business and career development. We work with nonprofits and organizations that are equity focused to really help them create strategies and make sure the internal processes for recruitment and programs are drawing and helping people of color to thrive and get seats at the table and become leaders in our workforce. And we also help our various stakeholders that we work with through organizations and just other decision makers within our state government create programs that help small businesses thrive. So I've been doing this work now since 2020. And prior to that, I worked a lot with the immigrant and refugee community, helping to bring people from abroad to work and live here through sponsorship and then becoming citizens here. So I just have a love for giving opportunities to those who, there's just a lot of disparities and gaps for people of color. And I just am really a push strategist. I push them to their purpose and push doors open for them. So just excited to keep doing that work. And that's a little bit about myself.
Thank you. Can you tell us a bit about the company itself and how it works with the clients that come to your services?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two tracks. So I either help individuals or organizations. So most of the individuals that come to Push are going to be looking for business coaching and support. So they'll work one-on-one with myself or another strategist within my team to help their business. Maybe they've been in business for a few years and they're stuck, or they're thinking of pursuing a business and they're just like, how do I go about it? What's the right way? How can I make sure that my business has that unique value proposition and we're successful? So I kind of handhold them through that entire process. So with small businesses as well, I offer various trainings. So it can be about government contracting. How do you get certified and why is that important? Why is it good to scale up your business and become somebody that offers services to state and government? And just so much more, and how do I pitch my business? I have opportunities coming my way. I'm a new consultant or a new small business and I want to get new clients or customers. How do I pitch? So I offer just a variety of classes and training as well, just to keep us as small businesses going. Then I have for individuals, I have a career track where I particularly work with professionals who are coming from abroad, but I also do help do career coaching for those who are here in US born. But my heart is to really help provide ways for those who are from around the world, bringing their talents to the US. So I've worked with people from about 15 different countries. And it's really about helping them go from maybe a student, an F1 visa holder, getting them skill sets and preparing them, navigating the workforce and seeing what companies we can find to get them in that job force, and then eventually helping those companies turn them from just, a temporary worker through whatever program they're on, whether it's OPT, CPT, or H1B, to be somebody that they're saying, we want to file for you. We want to get you your green card to stay here and make an impact in the US. So I help with all areas when it comes to sponsorship. I have programs where I help those who are already abroad, and I'm helping them just kind of say, how do you get to the US? What can work for you? And is it, could it be a reality to those who are here, getting them in that workforce? And then those who are US born and here working, I help them a lot. That area is really about transitioning in their workforce. Like, how can they go into a new career track? How can we make sure they stand out? And I have other partners who are resume writers who come along on that journey, help these professionals. We all come together, bring our skills to just promote our workforce. But like I mentioned, it's individuals of color, because for me, it's about creating a pathway. And I can share just a little bit, if I have time, about why I'm even doing this work. As a professional, when I came to Minneapolis, I left a company where I had great experience. I was a director. I was doing what I loved for a long time, but I also love small business and wanted to combine the two, but I didn't think I was ready to launch my business, Catherine. But Minnesota made me do it, because I went into a job networking event. And I was there, and it was mostly, Caucasian males. There were some females, but most of them were Caucasian. And it was myself and maybe one other woman of color, but it was a big job coach. She's pretty popular here. And she asked me, she's like, what do you want? And I told her, I want to land a job. I just came from New York, have this experience. How can I do that? And she told me that I should change my name on my resume, and that because people will see my name and think that I'm foreign and I don't have, the skill set to do the job. And when she mentioned that to me, which many people have experienced this type of thing here in Minnesota, I was thankful, actually, because it was good for me to experience that for myself. But I was also upset, because I'm like, this is what people are going through, and it's not like I'm new to that, because my parents are both not from this country. So I've dealt with a lot of things, but when it hit me in that way, I said, I want to use my gift and my talent to help other people not have to face that, and to show this world that everybody deserves an opportunity. So that's what got me into this, and why I'm so passionate about helping these communities.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that story. I think that gives a lot of context to why you do what you do.
Yeah.
So in terms of the capacity building pilot program, can you tell us, that's, what a lot of people here signed up for. So how did it start, and details on it?
Absolutely. So the capacity building program it started off through the various business coaching I do for some of the small businesses here in Minneapolis. Most of the businesses I was working with through the city, Hennepin Elevate, because I do business coaching through Elevate Hennepin, were businesses that were not, they were foreign-born owners. So I saw that there was a trend with the areas where they struggled as I coached them. And I just felt like, okay, we're doing these one-on-one coachings, but I'm seeing this trend, and I want to see a larger way where I can make an impact to help these small businesses. Then I had an opportunity to do work with the state, where I solicited a lot of the small businesses that were immigrant, refugee based, and businesses of color. And I saw these same trends where businesses either struggled with financial management, they struggled with HR, just internal HR support. if it was nonprofit, a lot of them struggle with grant writing and grant management. And I saw various trends. So from those two areas, I decided to say I want to create something with a lot of strong, amazing consultants that I know that specialize in all these areas, along with myself, to service our small businesses, especially immigrant and refugee small businesses, with support that can not only be one-on-one, but it's a community. Because in the various trainings I've had over the last few months, I noticed that we're not only learning from myself, the small businesses learn from each other. And it was just powerful to see how much people felt so empowered when they were in this cohort model learning environment, and we gained so much from each other. So I took all those experiences and said, hey, I talked to some partners who specialize in these areas and said, I want to put this program together where we really help build capacity for small businesses and nonprofits. So it's 2 different tracks. It would be a 3-month program. And the goal is that we offer it for 0 cost. It's in the process of getting funding. We're soliciting some partners for funding, so it could be 0 cost. So right now it's low to 0 cost, but the goal is that it would be no cost. It will be a 3-month program, and we will do a discovery session with the businesses we want to start in the first cohort. It will be a very small cohort because we want it to be intimate, but the goal is that we would do this 4 times over the 2023 year. And we will just assess where they're struggling, where they need help, and not only equip those organizations, but help them build relationships and networks within their arena of other small businesses. So we're seeking so many great partners who can help make this thing come alive. And right now we're in a stage where we're just soliciting organizations and small businesses that are interested. So from there, as we decide who will be the start of this cohort, we can go to those groups and give them all hopefully an opportunity over the year. But we're going to start off with about 4 to 5 businesses in the first cohort.
Okay, so you mentioned that there are going to be group meetings, I imagine. Is that the format? So what do you imagine that those will be like in terms of training or interaction with each other? Is it in person or virtual? What are the thoughts on that?
Yes, well, right now I'm actually in the planning stage with the consultants. So we're coming together and figuring out what will be most successful and what content we really want to focus on based on what the organization's pain points we find through that discovery session. We haven't had discovery sessions yet with the organizations, but we plan to do that. But for starters, we want it to be online because we want to open it up to greater Minnesota as well. The Twin Cities gets access to so many resources. I mean, there's just so much ways you can get support here. And sometimes I feel like greater Minnesota gets left out. So our goal is to start with virtual online. And we want organizations to understand it is going to be an investment. We want us to meet weekly to be able to offer this training. And we want the organizations that we select to understand that it is a commitment. So it will be coming together weekly, and we're hoping that it would be maybe a half-day training. We're not sure if it's going to be weekends yet or weekdays. We're still in that planning stage, but the goal is to meet weekly and just really kind of hold these organizations accountable, help them get the support they need. And they will leave with some work they may have to do outside the training. But again, it's going to build so much capacity, so much value, and scale up these businesses. So that's what we have right now as ideas, but things may change or tweak once we come up with that final game plan.
Awesome. So ideal participant for this program, right? Obviously, they need a lot of commitment. Obviously, you're targeting particularly BIPOC or underserved communities. Are there particular sectors that might work best with this program, or experience, number of years in business, that sort of thing?
I would say we are looking for businesses that have been in business for at least 2 years, because we want to make sure that it is an organization that is really ready and willing to move forward with whatever it is, the venture that they're working on. So I do want to eventually help all businesses, but we need to show that they do have that invested efforts and that they've been pushing the work they're doing. So we will, as we're assessing the applicants, target those who've been in business for 2 or more years. But that's not to say that down the line, we won't offer other opportunities. And as a person who wants to support all businesses, we do, through my company, offer a lot of trainings like, how to get certification for a grant and various other things that we have coming down the line. We have a grant writer training that's free and open to anybody. It's going to be online. We have all these other trainings coming. So even though you may not qualify for the cohort, you'll still have ways to gain knowledge and skill sets from consultants who look like yourself, who have lived experiences and who understand what these organizations need. And that's the one thing I didn't mention earlier, that the consultants that we're working with are going to be, Black and brown consultants. And if they're not, they have a plethora of experience with working with communities of color and doing this meaningful work that a lot of the organizations that we are seeing coming in the intake process carry out. So like I said, we're looking for at least 2 years. We understand that sometimes our organizations are kind of all over the place and that's okay, because when you're trying to carry out such great causes, sometimes you don't get to take care of the nitty-gritty. So we're not looking for any perfection more than you being an established business. So you're filed with the state and you've had at least 2 years of carrying out the work that you've done. And then from there, it's really based on when we have those one-on-one interviews to see that they're committed to this program and understand that just as much as we're bringing to the table to want to give them all they need to be successful, they're also able to reciprocate it as well.
Perfect. So do you have thoughts on terms of what you want to share regarding your partners of the program and, sort of the specialties that you think that they will bring to this program?
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if it's fine, Catherine, if your viewers see the screen, if you want me to pull up the flyer.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yeah, okay. I had an actual presentation ready, so let me pull it up here. I think okay, let me share it with you guys. I won't go through the whole thing due to time, but I'll share kind of what this looks like. Let me put it in presenter's view so you can see it. You guys can see it well, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so the areas that we're focusing on, and this is if you go to, and I'll share this with you too, Catherine, at the end, where people can enroll and do the initial intake process. But the areas that we're really specializing on, let me go to the slide that breaks it down based on the organization. So for small businesses, it's really on business development and training there, marketing and communications, HR and recruitment, and financial management, access to capital. So finding ways that they can not only get funds from grants, but also just other ways to build their financial capacity with banks. We have some potential great bank sponsors who's going to come in and offer classes. And we are going to be actually having a introduction free class for anybody, because as we're preparing to launch the cohort in 2023, we want to offer like little teasers so you guys feel and see the qualified support we have. So that will be coming. Please sign up for my mailing list. I'll give that to Catherine so you can join that class with the bank that talks about how you can get funding for your business. But that's where we're starting off now for the small businesses. And for community-based organizations, it's going to be, your government and board development, financial management and fundraising, grant writing, monitoring and evaluation, and program design and implementation. So these areas can change. As the cohorts go, we may expand, we may scale down. This is a pilot, and I guess I should have also said that too as well. We're piloting it to see how it goes. So there's no set expectation other than for people to win and gain great knowledge and support. And it not, a lot of the small businesses and community-based organizations, finances are not there to pay for this expertise support. So we want the biggest thing for me is for it to be as inexpensive and free. That's why it's taking time for it to launch, and we're not launching it until next year, because I want to get people who will sponsor this so it can be free for our organizations. But this is our areas of focus for now.
Wonderful. So, the best way for them to reach out to you, is that through your email, or is it to go and register through the program page?
Yes, well, both actually. If they want to register for the program, if they go to pushstrategist.com // capacity building program, and I'll send you this link. I'll send you the, scan me this entire thing. They can do the intake right there, and then we'll be getting back to organizations. My goal is by October, we should start interviewing people based on the consulting team. We're just kind of planning that out now. However, we will still, you should definitely join our mailing list at Push, so you're notified about all the classes we're having. Most of them, I do have people register, Catherine, because I like an intimate setting. I find that, when you have so many people, sometimes it's hard to get everything you want across or questions answered. So all the classes, even though they're free, they are registered by registration, and our mailing list, our Push insiders get access to that registration first before it goes out to the public. So I would say definitely sign up for our mailing list. If you have questions, you can reach out to us at info@pushstrategist.com. We'll be happy to address any questions you have. But the best way now is just to enroll in that intake, and then we'll be contacting you guys probably in the next month or so.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. I will connect you with the attendee list that have registered for this, so that they can get connected to you and find out more about your program. We really appreciate you sharing and what you're doing in the community. I think it's wonderful, and it gives people a lot of opportunities to learn and grow their business.
Oh, thanks so much, Catherine. What you're doing is amazing too, as well, because it's nothing like having a place where people can come and get information. Information is powerful, and I do hope that we can see this serve so many businesses. So the way we can do that is please by sharing it and supporting us as we're trying to get that funding. And the more people we show that are interested in this, the better it is for us to get that. So please share. If you're in Greater Minnesota, share wherever you are. We're not out of Minnesota yet, but hopefully we'll get there. We'll be able to make it to you guys in Iowa, right, Catherine? Aren't you in Iowa?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
well, we have a mix of people in Community CPA that is in Iowa and then in Minnesota as well.
Oh, awesome. So our Iowa folks, don't worry, we'll make it to you one day soon. So otherwise, take advantage though, our Iowa folks, of the free classes we'll have, just giving the information over the next few months.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for attending, and we'll connect with you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.